So my name is Rogelio Camarillo. I'm an actress slash producer, and I'm also a writer. And I'm the founder of Actors Slash. And Actors Slash, I encourage actors to create their own opportunities by producing their own content. And today we have a great example with 6 very talented fellow actors who just screened amazing short films that they, whether they wrote it or produced it or did the sound. I'm going to introduce you to all of them one by one. Once again, thank you to the Mexican consulate. You guys been pretty quiet with your cell phones. Thank you so much. Now you will be allowed to take pictures and share it on social media if you want. Just remember to hashtag Actors Slash and CCCM. And we're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Actors Slash. Anyway, so we're going to start our Q&A. I'm going to come up here and bring our guests tonight. So let's start with a beautiful Italian lady who I met outside of a theater. She is amazing, Paola. She is from Italy, and she's a professional dancer, as you can see. Actually, we're gonna share this, but let me give you a hug. Oh. Because I love it. It was just beautiful, and then please sit wherever you want.
Take a sit here.
And let's give her a big, big applause. Paola. Calliari. Our next guest is from Mexico City. No, wait, Pablo, I don't know if you're from Mexico City. Where's Pablo? Yes, okay, I was like, for a moment I thought. But he's an actor slash producer, and he's also a painter. And he, well, as you can see, he does a great, amazing work. He's going to talk about it in just a moment, so give it a round of applause to Pablo Azar. ¿Dabas helado? ¿Y les comparto este? Sí, claro. Por venir, claro. From Switzerland, it's amazing, this guy. He's also an actor slash writer slash producer and a real pilot. He closed the series, so give it up for Simon. Simon. Morton, as we say in Mexico. Simon, look at this t-shirt, please. Thank you for being here. Sit wherever you want. From France, Vive la France. Sofiane, this crazy guy. His short will started. He's an actor slash producer. Sofiane, she's going to tell us in a moment from where. And from the US, JJ, she's an excellent actress. I laughed a lot. Actor slash writer slash producer. Give it up for JJ Obee. Thank you so much. Thank you. And then, where's Rogelio? And from Mexico as well. He's a writer, no, I'm sorry. Well, you actually write a lot of things, yeah. He's an actor slash, but here, well, he's an actor slash producer writer, and here in this film, he was in charge of the sound. So he's a sound mixer. Give it up for Rogelio. Perfecto. Roger here. So, weren't they great? Not only acting, but they also, we got to enjoy all the delicious food and pastries that they brought. Pizza, homemade, originally with is la nonna recipe or the mom's recipe?
Mom.
The mom's recipe. And then we have Swiss chocolates, and then French pastries, and then delicious American donuts, and empanadas. And maybe you guys move a little forward so I can see you. Juanito brought those Mexican candy that pulparindos, mazapanes. It was just delicious. Did you like their food? It was awesome.
Oh yeah, heck yeah.
Anyway, so we're gonna start right now. Asking, how did you guys get involved in these projects? And we're gonna start with you, Rogelio. How do you acted, and then you also were in charge of the sound. How do you do that? Were you like micing everybody else, and then like, okay, check, and then run and be on?
Más o menos.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah. Oh.
I had an assistant, of course, for the sound, so I prepped everything for him, and he took it from there. But I got involved with this because I worked with the writer-director Derek a few years before. I did sound for one of his movies a few years ago, and we always stayed in touch, and I would support his films, and he saw me grow more and more as an actor. And when this came up, he had his casting director contact me directly and offer me the role and see if I was interested. When I saw what it was about, it reminded me of something that my grandfather, Ramon, actually went through. So that's why we named the character Ramon in honor of my grandfather.
That's cool. It's beautiful scenery and the photography. Where was this shot?
All over Arizona. It was in, the green screen stuff was in the studio in Tucson. And we shot in Sedona, which is southeastern Arizona. We shot in, Sedona is in northern Arizona, near Flagstaff. And we shot in Sonoita, which is in southeastern Arizona. Gammons Gulch, and just all over Arizona. All over the place.
So you know how to ride horses?
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
I come from a familia de vaqueros from Michoacán, Mexico. So I had done a couple of Western films. And when I did the second one, I thought, you know what? The third one is eventually going to come around. I should probably learn how to ride a horse. And I get better roles. So I did. I started taking horse riding lessons there in Tucson. And then I remember my great-grandfather was a vaquero. They actually trained horses back in Michoacán, back in the days. So I thought, it's in my blood, so how hard can it be, right? Well, it wasn't that hard, really.
Do they always book you for the bad guy or the good guy or the cowboy, or what? How is it?
A lot of the bad guy, I just have that malo look, you know?
Bad guy. Give us a look. Give us a sinvergüenza guy.
There's a movie called Sinvergüenza. I'm in that too, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
But I do get that a lot, but I'm trying to break more into comedy. And speaking of Jaime Camil recently, I got some tips on how to start going in that direction. So
Yeah, we were invited here recently with Jaime Camil,
yeah, he's awesome.
the Jane the Virgin actor, for his new show, Broke, right? He's an actor slasher.
Yeah.
And the first thing, you were invited, I remember I invited you, and then Jaime was like, hey, I know you. And he probably had no idea, but he just looked, your face is like that guy I've seen before in movies. And then you went to see him live on his show and he came and say hi, right?
I went to one of the tapings at CBS Studios with my friend Camille over there, who's also actress.
It's so cute. It's so funny.
It's funny.
So, yeah, I talked to him a little bit there after the show and everything. So
That's pretty good.
So yeah, I do the serious roles a lot. I'm in Better Call Saul on Netflix, and
We're going to see you in January, right?
January, exactly. So, but again, I'm trying to go into comedia. Cantinflas and Chespirito.
That's the idea. That's the idea of Actor Slash, that we create things together and then we can participate. So how about you, JJ? Tell us, how do you get involved with this piece that you wrote? In fact, I'm actually very shocked because I was reading on your biography that you are actually into, is it landscape?
I did landscape
transition?
architecture for 7 years before kind of going the other way. Moving to LA and being like, I'm gonna act instead.
So what made you decide or change?
Yeah. I took the other route. I was like, I'm gonna get a job in a 401k and insurance, and then I'm gonna ditch it.
Make money and then go to it.
Yeah. But yeah, with this one, I wasn't loving a lot of the breakdowns I was seeing and reading, and I wanted more real material. So I was like, well, what kind of character do I want to play, and what suits me? So I just sat down and plucked something out, and was like, well, we'll make it, we'll learn, and then we'll move on. So it's fun.
So you created this, was pretty easy to shoot because everything happens in a
Yeah.
one bedroom. But who did you invite to come over? Like, you just got together with some friends and...
Yeah, so right when I got here, I knew I needed to arm myself with an education, so I started taking classes at a bunch of places, including Playhouse West. My friend Lucy's here from Playhouse West, which is a lovely school, and it's filled with tons of actors, and we're very much encouraged to make our own stuff. So
this was part of the school project?
yeah, well, it wasn't required or anything. I just kind of made a lot of friends, have really great community through them, and pulled a bunch of us together. Said I made a thing, and we're all gonna make it, and they were totally on board, which is great.
And this film, just like yours, Rogelio, they've been touring in festivals and winning, and you won for Best Actress.
Yeah, I got the Audience Choice Award for Best Actress in a Comedy Short.
Okay.
Cool.
Congratulations. So in your case, it's different. This is the very first time ever I accept a short film that it wasn't finished by the time.
Thank you. That was me.
But we made it happen. You made it happen, and he was very attentive and alert on your reactions, because this is the first time anyone can see it, right? This is the
Correct. Yeah. Thank you everyone for coming, first of all. And yes, it was actually when I first met you. You came up to me because I was talking with one of your friends, and you're like, "Oh, you made a movie." I'm like, "Yeah, I have a movie." And and then you start telling me about this concept, you know, actor slash, and you start like telling me that you wanted my movie here, and you were very excited, and I'm like, "Yeah," and I start getting excited. I'm like, "Damn, this whole movie is in the hard drive now, not edited, you know." And she kind of put me some pressure, and I was like, "You know what? Let's make it happen." So I took off work and I started editing. I started editing all day long for weeks, and try my best to get this thing done. The director flew from New York, actually, Josh Williams. He's here.
Is the director here?
Oh,
He's
wow.
here. He came to support. So how did this happen? So the scene that you see in the apartment was my basement when I was living in New York. And one day he came home, we were chilling, and he saw on internet this concept competition thing with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, who put like it was, Josh, what was it? Like it was something like a contest that they were, like something like that. Anyway, and then we come up with an idea, and he's like, "Hey, why don't we make our movie and we call it Frenchie Comes to America?" I'm like, "Yeah." And then we come up with the idea, and we start like throwing ideas together, and then he started writing the whole storyline, and then we were like, "Okay, do we have a budget?" No, we don't have any budget. Do we have? Can you get cameras? Yeah, I have a couple of friends who have cameras. Do we have actors? Yeah, we have some friends who has we have actor
Everybody
friends.
has something.
Everybody in the movie actually participated for it. We didn't have basically no budget.
They all volunteered.
Everybody volunteered. So, but we're still working on it. Like you said, after this we're gonna start working more on the sound correction, for example, And but I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad that everybody came for the first screening.
I heard a lot of laughs. I hope you pay attention to the reactions.
Yeah, I was actually paying attention to only whatever was happening. I saw this movie 100 times now, but yes.
Pretty good, pretty good. How about you, Pablo? This is amazing. I remember, well, first of all, in the movie, you can see you with a short hair.
Yeah.
This was shot in Miami, right? And Silvana is the one that wrote it? Silvana?
Yeah, Silvana Arias. Yeah, we were in Miami. I was living in Miami actually, and I had finished a novela for Telemundo. So as actors, we were usually we finished a project and we were waiting for the audition for the next project. And something inside me was like, I need to do something, not just sit down and wait. So I called my friend Silvana, and I told her, "Hey, we should do something. Let's do a short film or something, and let's see what happens." So she was like, okay, yeah, let's do it, literally. And 1 week later, she called me and said, I have an idea. Yeah, I was like, okay, yeah, but let's do something, because we're all Latinos and all our friends are Latinos, but let's do something that doesn't portray the Latino as the typical stereotype that you see in all the movies and all that. So we were thinking, how can you portray a Latino that people don't expect Latinos to see like that? At least in the US, right? So we came up with the idea of this gay guy that works at a coffee shop and is in love with this other guy, and then the story that you saw. And we're like, yeah, let's do it. Latinos doing something that the typical American doesn't think it's a Latino. And we talked to friends. We had a lot of friends that helped us a lot. We talked to some people, some sponsors. We collected some money, and we put it together. We realized that when you talk to friends that are almost everyone has the same need to do something, but they just don't know what to do or how to do it. When you talk to people and start making those connections, you can make things happen with literally no money. Because we always think like, yeah, but I don't have any money. Well, we didn't have any money either. We just got there like $1,000, and everyone was like, yeah, I want to work, I want to do it. Now I'm going to put this, I have the camera, I have the sound, I have everything. And we put it together. So yeah, and it was pretty fun. We wanted to do it like light, enjoyable, and have that spark of something could happen after that. So yeah, that's why.
You also went to a lot of film festivals. You can see how did it go in the circuit of festivals?
We did 3 film festivals. We didn't really focus on a lot of film festivals because we wanted to use it more. We have this actual script for the film in English and Spanish.
You have it.
The feature, yeah, we have the script for the
Spanish
feature film, Spanish and in English, and we have the pilot for the first episode of this as a half an hour.
This to be as a TV series.
Yeah, exactly. As a 8 episodes, half an hour show. So we thought of it also like a pilot to try to take it to the next step. Yeah.
That's pretty good. And how many? You only have 1 episode or 2 episodes?
We have the pilot for 1 episode and the whole structure for the rest of the episodes. Yeah.
Very good. Paola, ¿y tú? Tell us.
Me.
This is just
Me.
beautiful. First of all, I want to know how's your dad?
My dad is keeping on, going on. It's never gonna get better. But you know, it's always a process. It's about acceptance. Every time is different, you know, because every time it gets worse. So pretty much every time I don't live back home, so I get to see him maybe 3 times a year. So every time I go back home, it's a little bit. It's a bit hard at first, you know.
It's very pretty. I love it. When she first shared it with me, I didn't know what to expect. It took me by surprise that it was a dancing thing. This beautiful woman, she's a gymnastic. She started as a gymnastic, and now she's a dancer and an actor, and she's been all over the world. And it's a very nice proposal. I really liked that. It really touched me, and I heard and I observed a lot of people who also got touched by it. How do you? I know you come up with this through your due to the fact that your dad is going through this. But what was it like? I want to do something about my dad, or how did you decide to? And your director is here, by the way.
My director, yeah, Michael Sandoval, amazing. Thank you so much.
Who also aided it.
It's actually thanks to him that this actually happened materialistically, because I had just moved to Los Angeles, and he was like, so I was back home. I was actually in the UK before moving to Los Angeles. And I was at the French Festival. I was looking at all these amazing artists proposing their projects. And I had just finished shooting a couple of movies back home in Italy, but I wasn't really happy with what I was doing. And I kind of had felt the urge of creating something by myself. And I got a lot of inspiration watching these artists at the French in Edinburgh. And then I asked myself, what's my urge? What do I need to tell people to do something that I can really talk about? And you know, it had been a couple of years already that my father was sick. And I never thought of really doing something about it because it's a very delicate matter. It's still delicate to me. But I kind of found the courage. I was talking to my mom, and my mom gave me these images. Sometimes we talk about what's going on. And she, in a moment of just venting her feelings to me, she just said, sometimes it's your dad, and it's like, it's like looking at one gray building and looking at all the windows, and the lights are just shutting down one by one. And it was an image that it's still inside me and kept on resonating. And so I decided to start with that image and I wrote down stuff and images, and I wanted to use the dance because I'm also a dancer, and I always did the two together. And I thought it was a good way to tell a story because right now I can't really talk to my dad. He used to speak 5 languages, now he can't really communicate. So I thought that, you know, action and movements are, everybody understands pretty much. You don't really need to talk about that. Yeah. So that was my way, and I moved to Los Angeles, and I saw Mike after years. He was actually my dean in school. I went to the New York Film Academy when I was 15 for a summer course, and we met there. So we shared a friendship in years, and he supported my project, and also because he had something similar in his family. And the initial idea was to do some materials, shoot something to create a stage production, like a one-woman show. I'm still working on that. But Mike was like, why don't you do a dance short film or something? And he's still
It was
encouraging.
Mike's idea.
Yeah. So yeah, that's basically.
Why did you pick the gray room?
So the gray room is the brain. So for me, the gray room was like entering into my father's mind. It was literally a studies. It was all an improvisation. We talked a lot of time about, you know, stages, what's going to happen, what's the climax, what's the story about. But the real movement happened into the room, basically. And it was amazing because Michael was following him at one point. He started dancing with me. So
This camera. That sounds awesome. It's very pretty. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And Simon, dang, real pilot. And so you wrote this. Just so you know, I met him at the same time as JJ, and we kind of connected. I kind of like immediately saw that we're talented. I'm like, this is gonna be fun. I'm gonna invite them to come over. And then Simon told me, I'm about to shoot a short film in 2 weeks, or next month. I don't remember. It was like I met them last month. And then he told me about his project, which is pretty fun. And he said, I wrote it, and I'm going to be starting on it. And then he introduced me to the director and the producer. Cordy is here somewhere. She's here too as well, who also, I can see she produced also. She was involved with the other one, right? Was she? No. No, Suki is here, but Cordy and Rico, yeah, sorry about that. And so he introduced me to this new project, and I auditioned, and I booked it, and we shot on Monday. We were working on it on Saturday, and now next thing we're here, we're friends, all cool, and he kept the role. He played
Mexican at heart.
yeah,
Yeah,
I know
nice.
Ben.
Nice.
It was hilarious. But how did you come up with the last flight? Because I understand it's a proof of concept or a project that you want to turn into a feature length, right? And it's amazing, the special effects, and someone who's already a pilot, you got, how many planes did you get there? Like tell us about the project. How did you come up with it?
So, yeah, I mean, the planes were already there. It's like a graveyard. I didn't crash them there. So the idea is basically, you know, as a pilot, when you fly, you have the passengers in the back and you take off, turn on the autopilot. You have nothing to do, so you can think about what could happen to these people. And especially now, and now on a more serious note, I mean, we're talking about enemies of the state and all. I mean, I'm not supposed to talk politics, I won't, but I mean, you know, it can happen. Imagine a situation where, you know, someone of you is being picked and told you're now the enemy and being shipped somewhere. So yes, it is a proof of concept for a feature film screenplay I wrote, and we produced this to pitch the project. And it actually, we went to 20 festivals, and it has now been optioned. So there's, you know, it's
wow.
maybe
That's cool.
gets made, maybe it doesn't, but at least we are 1% closer to actually this project being made.
That's amazing. That's pretty good.
So yeah.
Okay, so let's stop right here and then go back again. We were talking about when you don't have any budget. Obviously, you probably put some budget in there. Why don't you tell us, as an actor, when we don't have any money, we have the great idea and we have all these friends who are willing to participate, and someone has the camera and someone knows how to edit and color and everything. Then you need locations, for instance. In your particular case, how do you get funded? And if you didn't, well, as a pilot, you've got that plane yard. Is it very hard to get, or how do you get
Yeah,
all
so
this
what you're saying
permission?
is true for this project as well. So the special effects, for instance, Raphael, who is the VFX supervisor, he did this all unpaid. Same for the editing, the color correction, the sound, even the location, which looks awesome. It is already there. So with, you know, some Swiss chocolate and some convincing, some people might be able, you know. Actually, the Swiss chocolate I brought, I hope you had some because it's all from my
I
mom.
heard some people in the front.
That's actually
Just-
all Swiss chocolate my mom brought. So enjoy. Okay, anyway, so if you ask for favors and you have an interesting idea, it's the same for everybody. I owe so many people, so.
That's pretty. How long did it take you to shoot everything?
We shot this in 3 days.
Where is this place anyway?
This is the Mojave Air and Spaceport. So it's basically Mojave Airport.
Can someone just come and say, "Oh, I'd like to shoot a movie there"? Or
No, you
be a
can.
pilot?
You can actually book this place, and some commercials booked it already. So yes, if you get the permit, you can go there and shoot your own creepy movie.
Yeah, sorry, that's exactly the only way I would think of shooting there, or something creepy and scary or something. And you, Paola, so I know it was very easy to shoot and all that. Where did you guys shoot? Just any random studios?
No, we shot at the Bourbon New York Film Academy. Yeah,
Liz?
Mike works there, so he was able to get us a room.
Cool.
Is
It
this?
was like 4 hours, 3 hours, not even. Yeah.
Oh, really? That's how long did you do?
Yes.
Because you just improvise,
We-
you just dance.
We talked so many times before shooting, and we knew. We entered, I got into my zone, I started improvising, and then we kind of set up a couple of things, and then we started.
Did you always think of the music? You know, it's
No,
beautiful.
that's,
I
yeah,
really like it.
it's actually really funny, because the music, I was dancing on it, it was from LSVG sound system, what's the name, I forgot, yeah. And the song is Oh Baby, and it's so different from this one, because it's so happy. But I had just listened to that song one day on the radio, and I was just, that's how I create. Sometimes it's just, I have images in my mind, and then I try to follow them, or like I have dreams, and I try to work on the dreams I have. But after we shot it, obviously the music was not matching with the story. So I love Lorne. It's an American artist. So I was just listening to his songs and I found this one. I thought it was really matching.
I like it very much. It's very, it starts, at the beginning we were like, is there something wrong with the audio? But
Yeah,
it was
it's
perfect.
actually, yeah.
Part of it, yeah. And Pablo, so you were saying that you asked for some people, like how much did you guys pay for this? Like to shoot it, like $1,000? Did
Well,
you get the coffee shop to let you use it, just like that?
Yeah, well, for the coffee shop, actually, Savannah had this friend that owns a coffee shop, and he also owns coffee. So the brand that you see at the beginning of the coffee, opening the coffee, it's because we did this exchange. You let us
Smart.
shoot at your coffee shop, and we promote your coffee, and also we promote it in social media and all that. So after that, she wrote it happening in the coffee shop. So at the beginning it was, I don't remember, it was going to happen somewhere else. Then we adapted it to the coffee shop because of that. I talked to my uncle, literally, because he owns a company in Mexico that packages and sells blueberries, frozen blueberries. So I talked to him, I was like, hey, we want to do this short film. You told me you were going to support us when we did something. So now it's the time. So he gave us some money. I think it was like $500 or something. Then I talked to another friend that owns this car rental place, and we offered this exchange also to give them promotion.
Is he the one that run
media.
over you?
No, not really, not really. But no, actually,
So we
he
were
was one of their
rented.
part. Yeah. But that was more special effects. It was just.
I was going to say, how do you do that scene? I was like, oh
Yeah,
my God.
no. What we did is that we shot the car. What was it? Running by itself, and then they shot me just doing the movement, and then our amazing friend that did all the post-production, he actually, we got it because he's a friend, because we worked with him in Telemundo. So we talked to him and we were like, hey, we got this idea. Do you think you have some spare time to work on a project on the special effects? And he was like, oh yeah, why not? I'm gonna do it. Literally from my own pocket, I put $200. That's it. That's what I put from my own pocket. The camera, there was another friend that he's a photographer, and I actually worked with him in another short film that he produced. And he loved the script, and he was like, yeah, I want to participate, I want to do it. So he had the camera, he had lights, and then he talked to another friend, and we borrowed the sound, and his friend did the sound. So, and with all of them, we did this exchange of promotion, or if something happens any further, you're going to be part of the project, because we do have this idea to take it to a feature film or a TV show. And yeah, and that's basically how it happened. We didn't have permission to shoot at downtown Miami, we're like, yeah, now is the time, let's do it.
Really?
Yeah, at the street.
That's right.
And then the scene at the sky with the angel, all that, it was on a bench and just the camera pointing down, facing up, shooting the sky, and then in post-production they put all those special effects. And then the scene at the hospital, that's actually a spa clinic.
Spa?
Yeah, that's a spa clinic, and we just, because of the camera angle, you can't really see what it is, but it kind of looks like a hospital. So yeah, you gotta be creative, you know. You always have resources at your hand. Sometimes we just don't sit down and start thinking, how can I use the things that I have right next to me to do something, which is that you guys did. Whatever is close to us is whatever we use to create.
That's actually very impressive. And tell me about the angel. So I remember a long time ago, I saw a movie also that I don't remember the name, but it's a couple, two kids, and they fall in love, and he dies and comes back, and they have to meet before his 30th birthday. He wants to go back to Earth, and the angel who speaks like this with a voice like that. And did you guys face the angel in that movie or something?
Yeah, well,
It was
the
so
actual
raspy and all that.
the actual story has been told before. Like the person that dies and his soul falls into someone else's body. It's it's not a new idea, but we adopted it, and the angel always comes on those kinds of stories. And if you read the script of the feature film, you actually have two angels. Her angel, because my body falls into her body, and her soul also falls into my body.
So the other option is like all the way around.
Yeah, so we have two angels, one for each, and each of the angels teaches us how to love the other person that we hate before falling into their bodies. So this is kind of the beginning, having the angel, and Enrique Zapene. I mean, he also helped us a lot with the script.
He was
because
the
also
piano man
writes.
at the beginning, right?
Yeah, he doesn't really play the piano, but yeah.
In the coffee shop.
Yeah.
Is that the angel that we...
We wanted to put those little details that angels are always with us, you know. And yeah, everything kind of fell in and happened.
Pretty good. And Sofiane? So with the, how did you get AZ? And then the all these places, all these locations, especially the barber shop.
Well, this is all on the director, Josh William, who actually knew the owner of the barber shop, and he knows very well AZ because he directed a couple of his music video clips in the past. So he offered him, he told him about the concept, and he offered him a role. And AZ, they had their agreement together, and AZ's like, yeah, I'll do it for you. And, you know, he jumped on the project, and that was very good. And I was very surprised of his acting talent, because I believe he never acted before. He just do rap. Yeah, did he rap? I mean, did he act? Right, that's the first time. Yeah, so, I mean, it's also a concept for like a TV show. You know, Frenchie comes to America. This is something we want to create as a TV show, or eventually a web series, but we'll figure it out. We already started like writing the next few episodes, and as soon as we get
Frenchie crazy.
As soon as we get this time, we have like so crazy thing that's gonna happen to Frenchie. But as soon as we get eventually some money, we will definitely start shooting more like, you know. So, but yeah, we didn't have budget actually. All the money for that movie came out of Josh and I's pocket, you know. Any question? We didn't ask permission to shoot on the Brooklyn Bridge. We just steal everything we could steal.
That's so classic. That's the only way.
Guerrilla style.
JJ and Rogelio, on your case as well, that was one apartment, someone's apartment. But it's just then, why did you tell, in Rogelio, I assume the production company, I can see they really put a lot of money. That was a different story, right? Because it wasn't a project that you produced necessarily or directed. No, JJ, let's start with Jason. But for the two of you, what was that big mistake that you guys have made, that big error, those mistakes that you have done that you would like to share with someone, that you learned a great lesson about it and you wouldn't do it again? Let's talk about your mistakes.
I think
maybe in this production.
Yeah, I workshopped this a bit. When I was writing it, I was working on it in a class as well, and thinking that because something worked on stage, it would definitely translate over to film, and that is not the case. Because there's a little bit more forgiveness on a stage, and when it's like really, it just was a bit more like sitcom-y and high energy and silly. And then when we brought it down to film, it toned down, but not the ways that I really cared for. So I think maybe keep picking a medium and sticking with it instead of just being like, I'm gonna do it in everything. But I do want to say, in terms of getting stuff made, just when you meet people, it's crazy because my DP, we met at a party randomly, and he makes commercials and said, I want to make more things. that are not commercials. And he said, if you get me something that we can shoot in one day in one location, I'll do it for free. And he happened to have a shoot for Nike the very next day, and so he got some really nice camera equipment. So Nike paid for our DP stuff.
Smart.
And then the other thing that was really interesting is my editor. He, I met him because he went to NYU, and he happened to be wearing his NYU shirt at 3 a.m. in the morning after dropping his friend off at the airport one time. Someone who happened to also go to NYU was like, you went to NYU, you just come to this birthday party with me. So he went knowing no one, and I happened to be there. And he's been my editor ever since. And the way I paid for him to edit this was I steam cleaned all his carpets and his car. So you get creative about like trading things and finding what you have that no one else has, and apparently a lot of people don't have a steam cleaner. So if you guys need that,
You can always call JJ. Okay. She will steam it for you.
So in regards to the budget, I'm not too familiar with what it was. Cast and crew were all paid, of course. We traveled throughout Arizona. So they took care of that. They had private investors, so that was great. What mistake? Oh, my gear was volunteer for sound on the days where they couldn't get a sound man. Everything was shot months apart for different reasons. Different people couldn't make it. No me acuerdo que exactamente, but basically we had chunks of time that went in between. So it got to the point where they were not going to be able to shoot for quite a while longer. That river scene where I get in the water and all that was like 7 months after everything.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Just that scene. So I told the director, you know what, we need to get this done soon because I'm going to be moving to LA, and that was when I was living in Arizona. So what was my point now? I forgot. What was I saying? The mistakes. Right, so I volunteered my sound gear for the days that they couldn't find someone to do sound. So what I would have done, looking back now, was I would have volunteered to also do the sound mix. I used to have a recording studio where I would do ADR and sound mixing and todo. I should have volunteered for that, just to say, you know what, just to make sure that it came out great. It was fine, the composition was great, but I know now that the volume, the mix was not quite balanced the way I would like it to. A lot of the dialogue is drowned underneath the composition. So I learned that for my future productions. Well, I'm working on my next thing now where I'm writing, and I will be co-producing, so I know that I need to be, you know, with the film every step of the way. Of course, this wasn't my film, I was just playing the lead, but I learned from other people's mistakes as well. So
Of course. And you know what? That was going to be our next question. What are you up to next? And where can people find you on social media? So first, tell us, you just said that you're working on your next project.
yes, it's also a short film. It's called Toro de Oro. It's about a third generation Mexican American.
Did you write it?
Yes, I'm writing it. It's my story along with another co-writer. And we're finishing that up soon. And we'll be starting production in the spring of next year.
How many actors did you cast?
We have about 5, 6 principals, and then we'll...
Look, this room is...
There you go.
How many
Yeah,
actors
a
do we
couple.
have here? There you go.
Half of the room.
Now you can
Excellent.
cast.
Excellent. Yeah, so that's called Toro de Oro, Bullfighter, and we're working on that now. I have a producer from Arizona, from here actually, and a co-producer director from Arizona who I worked with before, and they've been eager to do some more work with me, so I thought, hey, let's all come together and do this. So it was the idea of one of the producers. He said he wanted to do something before I moved to LA, so I came up with the idea. I said I've always wanted to play a matador, and next thing you know, we have this little story together that we'll be doing pretty soon.
You're going to play Matador.
I'm going to play a matador.
So you wrote a role for you.
I wrote a role
about
for me
it.
to play a matador, exactly.
I want to play a computer hacker. I want to play a computer hacker. Do you have a computer hacker in your short film?
I can write one for you.
So where can people find you on
The
social
usual
media?
places. I'm on Instagram, of course.
How? Under what?
It's Rogelio_Camarillo_Jr.
Junior?
And then Facebook, the same thing, pretty much. Twitter, I'm not on Twitter very much, but you can find me there as well. So yeah, the usual places.
Do you have a website?
I need to get a website. I do not. I have an IMDb. That's kind of like my website right now.
Sure.
So you can go on IMDb, Rogelio Camarillo Jr., and you can check out my other stuff. So.
Thank you. I can zoom. Okay, so So JJ, what are you up to now? And where can people find you?
First and foremost, you can go to my website. It is JJObee, which is OBEE.com. Got all the goodies on there, and then links to everything else. I just, as of last night, wrapped up 2 weeks on 4 episodes of a pilot with Mark Brown, who is the writer and producer of Barbershop. So that was really cool and exciting. Thank you, it was fun. And then I'm writing with one of my writing partners. We're doing a short form web series called Bill Murray Must Die. It's a comedy. And we hope.
Dang.
And then I also am performing. I have 4 performances for the play A New York Minute coming up in December on the 6th, the 7th, the 13th, and the 14th. It's a dramedy, and it's at Playhouse West. So if anyone wants to laugh and then cry and then feel uncomfortable about it, you should come see me.
Sure will. Okay, and how about you, Sofiane? What are you up to? Where can people find you?
Well, people can find me on Instagram, on Facebook. It's very simple, first name and last name, Sofiane Madi, at Sofiane Madi. On Instagram, I also created the Instagram for FRENCHIE Comes to America. It's called @FRENCHIE Comes to America. And
What are your plans?
oh well, I mean, we now Josh came to LA for a couple of weeks, and we are going to set up the plan for the future shot. Actually, we're planning on keeping going. First of all, finishing this one very soon, and then start shooting pretty soon the next episode for FRENCHIE Comes to America. It might be in New York for the next couple episodes, and then maybe we'll find a way to make FRENCHIE fly to LA. You know, I'm trying to convince the director to make his move to LA, but he's so attached and so busy in New York, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. You know.
Pretty good, pretty good. I was just reading on your biography that you were an assistant production with a lot of movies like Birdman.
Yeah. I mean, it's actually how I met Josh. I'll make the story very short because it's a long story, but basically I had a friend, I was unemployed at that time, and I had a friend who just opened a restaurant in Chelsea, in Manhattan, and he asked me, like, Sofiane, since you're getting money from the government, do you mind?
You were getting money?
I mean, I was unemployed because I had a surgery, so the government was paying me, medical stuff, And
you're American citizen?
Yeah, I'm American citizen now. So
how do you get those benefits?
So yeah, no, this is the thing. It's like this guy came up to me.
Or you're just a resident, because I was like, dang, this guy knows how to do it. I got to Tijuana for medical attention.
No. I got very lucky actually. When I went for my
did.
surgery, the doctor says, I know you cannot pay this 30%. Your insurance covering only 70%. I know you cannot come up with the 30%, so I'll do it for free. You just have to pay $250 copayment, and I had like $100,000 surgery, so which was very good.
Where did you find that doctor?
He's amazing. His name Dr. Terani, Armin Terani. He does surgery for shoulders and knees. And then before I make my move to LA, I call him and I'm like, hey doctor, do you mind to make the same deal with the other shoulder before I make my move? And he's like, yeah, let's do it. So I had to do the other shoulder, and that's it. Actually, while we were
Hey, you want to do
no, this is the funny thing is that when we were shooting FRENCHIE Comes to America, we didn't see that scene because I cut it because of the timing. But when I jumped out of the taxi cab, and I was running, my shoulder came out. And after that, remember Josh? My shoulder came out. It was very painful, and after that, when we were done shooting the movie, I called the doctor and I'm like, let's take care of the other shoulder. So, yeah, so that was very, what was the question again?
How you met.
Oh, how we met? Yeah, let me do it very quick, okay? No, this is a very interesting story. So I was helping this guy for free. He's like, Sofiane, I cannot pay you, but I know you're getting money from the government, but whatever you can make as a tip is yours. And I said, okay, you know what, Sergio, I like you, I'm gonna come and I'm gonna help you. And I went over there every day and I was helping him setting up the restaurant, hiring people and everything. And then at some point, one day I came earlier and they were shooting a movie across the street with Sharon Stone and Christopher Walken. And I was like, damn, I need to get a job on this movie. So I was going from people to people and everybody's like, go see that person, go see that person. Then at some point, this guy who was like driving the trucks, like, you see the big black dude over there? He's the one who hires, go see him. No, not him, another one.
Taller, someone taller.
Super tall, like six what?
6'7".
6'7", he was super tall. So I wait until there's a cut. I cross the street, I went next to him, I look at him like that, it was like an Eiffel Tower. And I said to him, excuse me, I heard you're the one who hired, do you mind to give me a chance? I would like to work as a PA. He's like, you know what? I'm like, no. He's like, go see the person who told you that and tell them they have the wrong information.
Oh.
So I give up, go back behind my bar, set up the bar, looking at them by the window, and I'm like, no. I cannot give up that easily. I went back down and I just observe everyone and I see this guy over there. He was like, yo, yeah, and I was like, he must be the man. So I went to him like a cat, like very slow. And I see on his face, he was like, don't bother me. Don't even think about it. And I went to him and I'm like, listen, I know you're very busy, I don't want to bother you, but I work in this bar and I will do happy hour for the whole crew the whole night. And if you come, I'll take care of your drink, we can talk. Bingo. I thought he would never come, like he came.
Those wonders,
Yeah,
right?
food and
He
alcohol.
came, we talked. The next day he calls me, he's like, hey, do you work in your restaurant tomorrow? I'm like, yeah, you want to come back? He's like, no, I have a job for you. I'm like, you know what? I'm not working in my restaurant anymore. And then he got me on set, and I did apparently an amazing job. And then the other guy, the big black dude, came to him. He's like, who's this guy? There's not the guy looking for a job last time? He's like, yeah. He's like, you hire him? He's like, yeah. He's like, you know what? He's doing a better job than anybody else, so we're gonna keep him.
Is
And
that
then-
true, or he's just
That's true.
kind of
And-
like a little...
Yeah, and then after that, next movie was The Wolf of Wall Street, and he got me in, and then he got me to another one, Elementary, and then I keep going. You know, when you enter the family, you keep going and you keep going, and I worked like on 35 TV shows and movies as a production.
Wow. When did
Wow.
you start doing that? When was that?
It was like, well, I'm here in LA. It was like, I started 5 years ago. I did it for 3 years in New York, and then I moved to LA, but I decided to stop the production assistant thing here. I do it once in a while for friends that I have here, but I'm trying to focus more on acting now.
Guys need an actor / assistant production. There you go.
Yeah, I do everything
Very good,
actually.
very
Recently
good.
I was on set, building a whole set for this movie, with the Freddy Krueger. Yeah, thank you. This one.
Very good. Impressive. How about you, Pablo? What are you up to?
Well, my wife and I, we just got married a month ago, so
Congratulations.
it's still weird to say my wife.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where's
We.
Anna? I don't see Anna.
Right, it's
Yeah.
there.
Oh, usually wins.
So we just finished producing another short film. This one is a drama short film. We did it in Mexico because my sister is actually studying filmmaking in Mexico. So,
Right.
and she also writes scripts. So she wrote it.
What's
was-
your sister's name?
Paulina.
Paulina.
Pau Verdalet. So she wrote it, she directed it, and we produced it. We filmed it a month ago. It's still in production. We're editing. Now it's in sound editing. After we're gonna, once it's ready, we're gonna send it. We are actually gonna use it for a lot of film festivals. And yeah, that's it. We're gonna focus on that. We're gonna also focus on trying to sell Mismatch Made in Heaven. I'm doing my art. Doing
Tell us about your art.
Well, I'm a painter, I'm an artist. I created this style with cartoons that I call Toonimania, which is I put cartoons together and create the bigger picture. So to me, it's like nothing in life is empty. Everything has a meaning. So I wanted to create these pieces of art where the big picture, let's say your portrait, has these little tiny pieces that give other different meanings. And I'm working on a commission for Frisco, Texas, the city of Frisco. I'm decorating some utility boxes, those utility boxes that are outside the streets. I'm making designs for them, so I'm also focusing on that and focusing on the acting, on auditioning, the actors.
That's amazing, Pablo. Where can people find you?
Yeah,
Both of your, the Azar,
yeah,
Azar Pablo.
social media for my acting and my personal, I have Azar Pablo, and I have the art, it's Mr. Tuni, Senor
Exactly,
Tuni.
Senor
It's
Tuni.
SRTOONY. So yeah, Facebook Pablo Azar Plans, and my website azarpablo.com.
Perfect, excellent. How about you, Paola? What are you up to? What are you doing now?
Auditioning as everybody else. I'm flying back home in a couple of weeks, and I'll be spending more time with family. I think I probably try to go on with the project. We're planning to send it to festivals, but we've been discussing about doing a feature. I still want to bring it on stage. I'll see next month how I feel once I'm back home. Yeah. You can find me on Instagram, Paola.Calliari. Definitely look up the spelling, because I'm not going to spell it for you. It's too complicated. What?
And this one is wrong too? I changed
No,
the name like
that's
500
perfect.
times.
No,
Oh,
I'm just
no.
saying. It's not a common name here.
Okay, good. You do?
So you can find me right here, chat person to person. And we just read on Monday, you played a Mexican mom. So
Tell them a little bit.
it's a
about it.
Mexican family.
I'm a rich, smart woman.
Yeah,
Takes care of my whole
wealthy,
family.
successful Mexican family. Talking about stereotypes now, we'll turn it upside down. Mexican mom, dad, Mexico, 2 kids, and they are getting a surprise visit, and it's a comedy. So
And he's
you know,
our au pair. He
I'm-
takes care of our children.
I'm a French au pair, so of course I'll take care of your children. Can also take care of your children. Yeah, it'll be the name ICE, and it stands for Immigrations and Customs Encouragement.
But it's not what you think. Yeah, exactly. Tell them what exactly. I read this. Perfect. And where can they find you on social media?
Instagram, just the Simon Morton, or here.
No, but is it this Simon Morton?
Yeah.
That's it, and all of them.
So it's
Simon
that.
Morton.
Yep.
All 3. Twitter. Are you on Twitter?
No, I don't.
Instagram and
I
Facebook.
just Insta. That's it.
Well, let me tell you guys, if you ever want to be part of these actors/events, I'm like a social media police, like for real. The reason we have people every time is because these guys, I call them and I tell them, okay, this is how it's gonna be. I'm gonna be doing 3 posts, 1 video of you, 1 picture of you and your movie, and then another one with all of us. And I need you guys not only to share it or anything, to like it, to repost and share. And I'm gonna hold you down until it happens. I'm a nightmare. It could be a nightmare in that aspect. I warned them, and I did.
That's the only way you can make it happen.
And that was the only way, and you did amazing, following every single direction. I really appreciate it. I'm so sorry. I know I could be.
Which one
She
was
even calls. Who calls nowadays?
Yeah, I would call.
Which one was the hardest to deal with?
I'm not gonna tell you. But this is hard. I have to deal with this every time. And when everybody cooperates and it happens, it's amazing because then people really come. And sometimes there are events that show up and like you go there and you're the only person, right? No, it hasn't happened with Actors Slash, thank God. But I don't like that. Thank God you guys were team players, and I really, really appreciated that all of you participated in your own way, whenever you had to do it, but you did it. And here we have an amazing public that came in support. I really want to thank you all, and thank you for coming. I hope you had a great time. Thank you for the CCCM. And Alberto, thank you so much for Alberto Santigan. He's an actor slash photographer and a dear friend, and he volunteered to take our pictures. We would like to take, hey, don't get up, wait. Let's have a picture with you guys on the back. Beto, if you don't mind, could you take a picture from there to here so we can see our amazing public in the back with all of you guys?
This is like a.
Yeah. Let's just be here. Let's just have a picture with our public in the back. Should we come down, Beto? Can you see that?
Qué chistoso.
Yeah.